Matthew 13:3. Behold, a sower went forth to sow. It's 1980. My wife Maureen and 3.5 children and myself stepped off the plane at Don Mueang International Airport in Bangkok, Thailand. We are being met by 3 other missionary families who had just arrived the previous year. When we began our part of God's Great Commission, it never occurred to us how long or how big the task would be. And 30 years just happened, one day at a time. For Phil Pope and myself, who stayed in Bangkok, it would be 7 years of preaching, tracts, visitation, street meetings, and bus ministry before God would give number 1, the national pastor. With all that we did to get out the gospel, the Thai didn't understand. And we as freshman missionaries didn't understand that they didn't understand. At the same time, even after being there for 30 years, it is impossible for an American to ever understand the reverence and love the Thai have for their king. There is certainly no one in the United States, and maybe the world, that has the influence that this man has over his subjects. In 1974, and again in 1993, the students were protesting against the government and rioting in the streets. For 3 days, it was war with atrocities on both sides. The king came on television and said, "I'll not have Thais killing Thais. Soldiers, go home. Students, go home." And they did. In the 60s, it was the king that detoothed the communist threat in Thailand. Laos and Burma were fighting civil wars, and Cambodia exterminated 30% of its population, while Thailand grew its population to 66 million because of this man. It is impossible for an American to understand the Thais' love for their king. This man is Buddhist. I want to give you an idea of how saturated this country is with Buddhism. If I ask a Thai what religion he is, he will say Thai. What he is saying is, I am with the rest of the Thai who are Buddhist. To be Thai is to be Buddhist. We are one. If I showed you pictures of every temple that is in our county at the rate that you're seeing them now, it would take over 4 minutes to show them. If I showed you pictures of every temple that is in our county at the rate that you're seeing them now, it would still take over 1 minute. Every house, government building, government office, schoolroom has a shrine. Most rice fields have shrines. And seemingly for no reason, there are shrines along the road. To be Thai is to be Buddhist.
Oh, look at our racer! Oh my goodness, he's beating us! He's beating us! Where are we? We're in Bangkok. We're in Bangkok riding in back to Spain. Get her, Mama.
Thailand is truly amazing. Culture, yes. Animals, yes. But what really amazes me is that I have more liberty in Thailand to present the gospel than in the United States. Tracts, preach on the streets, radio, even the public schools are open to hearing the gospel, but they seem to be impervious. One excuse is that what is good enough for the king is good enough for me. Or, our ideas are founded on 600 years of culture. This is who we are. This has all been background and developing a problem that is bleak at best. Is there a solution? Is there a way over, under, around, or through the obstacles that Satan has set up? Let me introduce Jezda. He was our number one, our first preacher. Jezda approached me when I wasn't witnessing or even had a track. He asked me where he could get a Bible. I told him that I would get him one. I'm ashamed to admit this. I forgot. 2 days later, he called me and said, "Hi, Tim. This is Jezda." I thought, Jezda, who's Jezda? Tim, about the Bible. I about died. This needs to be said very clearly. No man gets the credit for reaching Jezda. God touched your heart to support us, in some cases 30 years ago. At best, you got a signpost. God happened to use me to point Jezda. This is a clear example of God showing himself. As Paul Harvey used to say, here's the rest of the story. The Lord used Jezda to reach a preacher named Bridit, a preacher named Santisuk, a preacher named Alongkot, a preacher named Sakrapi, a preacher named Pitak, a preacher named Hilapong, a preacher named M, a preacher named Ponsawan, a preacher named Bramut. Nakorn has been called through Jezda, and Jezda's two sons, Billy and Bay, have been called. And it goes on. Jezda's grandchild preacher through Bridit is a Lao named Umpai. Jezda's grandchildren preachers through Santisuk is a preacher named Sadudi, a preacher named Nakrop, and a preacher named Pa Nakrop. 2 Kings 6:15. Elijah's servants saw the host that compassed the city and said, "Alas, how shall we do?" In 2 Kings 6:17, Elijah prayed and said, "Lord, I pray thee, open his eyes." I pray with Elijah that the Lord would open your eyes to what he is doing in this seemingly impossible land. In salvation, we are far past the parable of the sower, and some 100-fold. In the parable of the talents, we're past 10 talents. The Lord is up to 16 preachers already. I'm excited seeing what the Lord has done. I can't wait for the next 30 years to be able to come back and report how truly great he is. And there'll be no one to claim the honor except the Lord.